Oh, we're back
Oh my god!
with the power of the green screen. We're back to talk about another wrestling show from last night and predictions of AEW Redemption.
Yeah. Hey,
Yo,
we're gonna hey yo, rest in peace. Uh let's just can we do a quick review of Dynamite from last week?
yes,
It
not
sucked.
my
We
cup.
skipped
It
doing a
sucked.
video.
It was all right. It was I liked the first match of the show, Darby Allin. He's always my main
No,
event.
no, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the week that we didn't do a video.
Oh, it was. I enjoyed it. He didn't like it. He didn't like it. I enjoyed it. But and the main event kind of sucked. But hey,
Yeah, we didn't have time. Whatever. All
now
right.
we can talk about
But
last night.
now we can talk about last night's
We can
Dynamite. Yeah.
redeem ourselves, our redemption here.
Yeah, so we'll jump into this quick before going to predictions. Just overarching thoughts. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was anything exceptional in my opinion. I feel like the last two Dynamites have certainly fallen off from,
Mm-hmm.
Beach Break, which is it's conflicting because like for me, it's frustrating. I could get into so many 20-minute rambles about so many different aspects of the product. I think where I get frustrated is in what I saw Brian Alvarez at the Wrestling Observer talk about, and that's just potential. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as an AEW fan, I want to see this company get back to where they were in 2021. I want to see them get back to larger houses when it comes to attendance. And I think people say this, like, I don't watch WWE. So of course I want AEW to win. But I also genuinely think for the health of wrestling, having a true competitive brand to WWE will see WWE fans happier because they will be pushed. Triple H and
Yep.
creative will be pushed to make that product more engaging. And perhaps even lapsed WWE fans like myself may come back. So to see Beach Break get nearly 800,000 viewers and then the week after actually exceed it just barely, but
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless, really build off of that, my fear, and I haven't seen the numbers, maybe I'm wrong, but like my fear is when you have a big rating like that, like you need to capitalize. You need to bring people in. You need to tell them, hey, I know you just tuned in for the first time in a while. Here's why you should keep tuning in. I just don't know that they're doing the best job there. I think part of that is because of this pay per view.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, look, I think most of us know, like, obviously, you've seen plans change. This was originally going to be MJF Kenny at this pay per view. MJF pushed for it not to be. He wanted on TV. And, I like the idea of Kenny having a longer reign, which
Mm-hmm.
this helps by a couple of weeks. But this pay per view doesn't like it feels so much less than a Forbidden Door, so much less than a Double or Nothing, and certainly I imagine will be feeling a lot less, and maybe even a distant memory from All In at Wembley. And like, there's a part of me that's conflicted. I swear I'm going to end this rant here in a sec.
Yeah.
But like, there's a part of me that's conflicted because there's this great unknown about AEW ownership because it's not a public traded company like WWE is. TKO is involved there, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's been this wonder forever if Tony Khan is the exclusive 100% owner or if Warner Brothers Discovery has any ownership in this. Where do certain things play in? Because at the end of the day, this pay per view was brought in. And was that Tony's decision? Maybe it was. But was there any influence? Is there a possibility that, especially when pay per views do so well, that
Mm-hmm.
there is pressure from like AEW was once a 4 pay per view a year company, and now this is going to make it a 10 pay per view calendar. But is there pressure from somebody elsewhere that says, hey, uh, we know you do 6-figure pay-per-view buys that generates a couple $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
that adds to, there are shared revenue streams for sure. It's not like AEW gets every single penny from these pay-per-view sales. Hey, we know that you're, even though this house is going to be a little smaller, still Uh, it's going to be more often than not, this attendance will be viewed as a substantial upgrade over what a Dynamite or a Collision will bring in terms of live attendance. Um, so, if that's the case, like, you're not in a position to say, no, I'm not going to take more revenue. And if that is the
Mm,
case, I fully understand AEW doing this. I think we're going to be talking about what will end up being a very fun pay per view to watch. It's just the TV and the build to this card has not been the most exciting. And I honestly would say that
mm.
I think it would be fair to argue this is like a low point in 2026 for AEW. Not to say that that's like Jinder Mahal WWE champion low
Oh
point.
no.
It's just a low point in this year.
Thing is, wrestling is like a roller coaster, and this low point is going to go low to go eventually high, with all in potentially with new signings, and who knows how many people AEW is going to bring in from this big batch of WWE releases, because they just released a whole bunch of people. Tony Khan's probably looking at, we can't not sign the New Day. They're got to be signed. You got Motor City, Machine Gun, potentially Sheamus. Have a lot of like new people. Selena Vega. Have all these people that you can sign. So you're like, oh, if I'm gonna pay these people, I need to make more money. So potentially AEW could have 12 pay-per-views going forward at some point. I think I'm gonna try to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say this too. This pay-per-view going in has drawn comparisons to All Out 2023.
Mm,
So let me bring you back to that one because it's a pretty vivid memory, I think, in a lot of the diehards heads.
mm,
So uh All In was a week prior, literally 7 days before All Out in
mm.
2023. And All In 2023 was the first time they ran Wembley. That was when they did the 81,000 alleged largest attendance in wrestling
Mm.
history. And that was also the day that CM Punk got into a fight backstage with Jack Perry and Tony Khan feared for his
Yeah.
life. And 1 week later, All Out
Mm.
was in Chicago. And the night before, Tony Khan went out because they were taping a collision there. The
Mm.
night before, Tony Khan went in front of the crowd in Chicago and told them he fired CM Punk.
Oh.
And I remember I was at a baseball game Sunday afternoon. I was in Milwaukee. I was getting ready to drive like 6 hours home because I was spending the weekend in Milwaukee. And basically my path through to get back to home was going to take me through Chicago.
Mm.
And I looked at my girlfriend at the time and I said, "Hey, I mean, All Out's tonight. Like, do you care if I go?" And we ended up getting great tickets. And
Mm.
there was virtually almost no build, right? The main event was for the international title. It was Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley. Uh, MJF and Adam Cole defended the ROH tag titles in the opener versus the Dark Order. But the point of it is, this pay per view was an afterthought in so many ways. It was a week after your what was billed as the biggest pay per view of all time, and it was a days after the
Mm.
biggest firing in company history in the market that guy
Yeah.
is like god to. And I went to that show, man, and it was a great pay-per-view. It's one of the best shows I've ever gone to. And it was same thing, B-level story, B-level booking, but A plus in ring. And that is where AEW consistently thrives. And so I do think for that reason, uh this is a pay-per-view that right now will test some brand loyalty of people. How many
Mm.
people are willing to spend money for a pay-per-view that maybe feels fairly predictable, which we'll jump into. Uh but I think knowing the AEW fan base, I mean, I know what you and I are doing Sunday night.
Yeah. Watching Redemption. I think this card is definitely not like an afterthought comparative to the pay per view you're talking about. I think this card has way more build and way more story than that for sure. It's not like throwing together matches. It's had a lot of going like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like even the long term with Kyle Fletcher and the Don Callis family, with seeing what happened last week, seeing that the Don Callis family, Kyle's like they're gonna be banned from ringside. So is that gonna be true? Is Don Callis gonna interfere? Because it gives some
Yeah.
questions.
Well, I know I don't know. Like I said, I thought Dynamite was okay. They
Mm.
did get a couple more matches for this pay-per-view announced. I enjoyed the opener, Darby and Kevin Knight.
Oh, great.
Knight was, yeah, really solid match, and then and the ending of the show, good little angle there. That kind of
Mm.
trios match where members of the Don Callis family lost to Omega, Ospreay, Moxley, and some post-match shenanigans that it does make you question, like, where are we going with Osprey, Omega, and where will John Moxley fit in, and how will John Moxley fit into this story?
Yeah, that's the fun thing with what they got going there. Like you can see, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, but nothing's like, oh, is happening 100%. Osprey is winning. It's not like a guaranteed like in the storyline. It's feel like it could go on till after All In.
For sure. All right. Well, do we want to jump to redemptions?
I think we can make a large jump here to Redemption, or
I
maybe
said
walk.
redemptions, but I
We can
accidentally
use
said
our forelegs.
redemption. You know
We
what? I
can use
wish
our
I could.
forelegs. There we
I
go.
wish I could. I wish I could redeem enough
Mm.
points to get some sort of free food this Sunday, but I think I will have to come out of pocket.
Maybe your wallet might be strapped to a chain or something like that. Might be strapped short for cash.
Do you think it'll be strapped to a chain or perhaps even a double chain?
I think two chains would be good of your financial situation going on right now. That's why we
Two
need to talk about
chain.
today's sponsors. Rocket Money. No, we're kidding. We're not Elite Podcast. We have no sponsors, but we
No
do have
views.
a match card. Wow, it's magic. Thanks to the threads, the fake Twitter. Someone
All
posted
right.
this.
Well, that helps. Look at that. All right. So what do we got here? Jay White and Juice Robinson versus 100 Proof Clark Connors and David Finley, the Dogs.
Mm,
And this is a double chain match, which I don't fully understand. Like, I was like, is this a dog
yeah,
collar match? Is this like what did WWE do? Texas bull rope match?
Texas
Like a
Bull Rope
strap?
Max. You got a strap
Strap match?
match. I think
So,
this is the first time I've ever seen a tag team version of this. I don't know. It's probably they had multiple in history of
yeah, I don't,
SmackDown.
so we don't know what the rules are. I would agree with you when we were talking about, with this pay-per-view. This is something that there was some story. I even predicted a few weeks ago this was
Mm,
probably the pay-per-view that you would get this match because I still believe All In will be David Finley versus Jay White.
mm.
Um, so that being said, right now, I think you could go either way, but uh I like the Dogs here. I would like to see David Finley and Clark Connors get a win.
Yeah, I would agree. They need the win. Jay White had one on Dynamite. The Dogs have been losing for a while, so that's why guns up
Yeah.
is my
Yeah.
prediction.
Wait, wait, guns up?
Yeah, guns up. Two words.
Wait,
Guns up. Jay White's gonna
wait.
win.
Jay White's team is going to win
Yeah,
here?
Jay White's team's gonna win here. They should lose,
Ah,
but it's AEW, so they're gonna win.
all right. Well, last time you and I, prediction wise for Forbidden Door, I ended up being right on one that you were wrong on. I can't remember what dumbass one you predicted.
Shit. I was able
There
to
was,
redeem myself with I think it was my no, it wasn't my world.
no, we both picked that one.
Fuck. I wish
Well,
I wrote this down, but either way, you can watch that on YouTube right here on Just Me Jay's YouTube
yeah.
channel.
But we do have a different prediction right off the hop here. So he's
Get
going
popped.
Jay White and Juice Robinson. I'm gonna go with the
Mm,
dogs.
I hope I'm wrong and the dogs win, but I'm gonna get over my gut here. My gut check, my TNA Bellator gut check prediction.
There you go. And are you gonna have to climb up?
I have
Whoa,
to.
what happened?
I guess they climb up. Oh yeah, I forgot. There you go.
What the
What
hell?
the dog doing?
God,
Let me
man.
climb up
Yeah,
this
what
ladder real quick and fix these
yeah,
technical difficulties.
Maybe you can retrieve that. Okay, so it is worth mentioning this is a six-way ladder match. Now, there are only four
Oh,
pictures.
four
Um,
people.
this is because there are two matches they've already been pre-taped for Collision that will have
Oh,
qualifiers. One, oh God, do I remember who these are? One is El Clone versus Leo Rush. The other one is AR Fox versus Nick Wayne. And so the winners of those two matches will then join the four on the screen who are Commander, the Beast Mortos, Jack Perry, and Montreal's own Speedball Mike Bailey. And so it'll be a six-way ladder match. The winner, James, I believe, will be
hmm.
number one contender for the International Championship.
Well, I'm just gonna try to predict the participants of this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope Leo Rush is in this match,
I hope
and I
so.
hope they have Nick Wayne because you got to do something with Nick Wayne unless they want to have keep on promoting ROH and have AR Fox. You know, it's kind of be
Yeah.
top dog there.
Yeah, has AR Fox even been on an aid? I know he's fought on like pre-shows. I don't think he's ever been on a main card of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, so yeah, AR Fox has to win it. You know, give him that. He's definitely been on like some dynamites and collisions, but nothing really.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Then I feel
Let
like
me just
then yeah, you go.
I'll say this. So the only thing that's interesting here is you have to keep in mind in 2 weeks, it's Grand Slam Mexico. International championship is what Kyle Fletcher holds. You could
Yeah.
see it making some sense for a guy like, I don't know, Commander to maybe win. But But and I'll give them this. There are some options here because you got Commander who's got some CMLL ties. I think the Beast Mortos does too. You have Leo Rush, if he wins, is really already over. You have Jack Perry, who they made a big deal about re-signing with them. But to me, Speedball Mike Bailey is the guy who's going to win this match because he's from Montreal. I think they're going to get a huge pop. I think this is a match that has really no story. And honestly, whoever wins, I assume, is just going to lose to Kyle Fletcher because I think
Mm.
spoiling my prediction for a match later on. But I still believe we have a Fletcher Okada Takeshita build to get to it all in. So I don't see anybody here making sense to interfere with that. But it'll be a
Mm.
hell of a TV dynamite for whomever gets the match. And this is one of those matches, man. It's not a lot of story, but you come to AEW pay per views to watch good wrestling, and like they will do what they can to make this a match of the night contender. And I think the hometown crowd will resonate behind Speedball getting the win.
I agree. I was gonna say speedball, speedball,
Speedball.
speedball.
Speedball. Speedball.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't know. The thing is, the ladder match though it protects Jack Perry. Is like, oh, Jack Perry
Yeah,
lost a ladder match. Okay,
yeah, I agree. All right, speedball it is.
speedball. Something that's
And
gonna
I
be
will,
going on
and I
fast.
will say it could end up being one of the top three matches of the night.
But yeah, when you look at the card, that's like one of two matches that has a big like, well, one of three that has like a stipulation on it. All these other matches seem like they're just regular matches.
Is the one you're putting up next another stipulation?
You are correct. A
Oh my
no hold
god!
barred.
Ah,
The
I'm so
Painmaker
scared.
versus Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm so scared of the Painmaker.
It's fine.
Look at him. He's so scary. He put guy
he
liner across his eyes.
talks in a little scary voice now on his little promo on Dynamite last night.
It was so
Fuck, it's
stupid,
just dumb.
man.
I don't. You know, they're in Canada. You know, Chris Jericho's hometown, the Painmakers. Return after how many years? So right now, the Painmaker is 0-0, 2026.
Is that you saying he's winning?
Yeah, I'm saying he's gonna win. He's gonna stay undefeated this year. The Painmaker. That's my prediction for the whole year.
Yeah.
Painmaker undefeated.
So, uh, there was a when before Chris Jericho went away for like a year, people had talked about it in AEW referring to something as the Jericho vortex,
Mm,
where these wrestlers would end up in programs with Chris Jericho, and it would put them into like just nothingness. They were sent into a slip space. All right, he came back this year. Thought it was interesting. He chose AEW over WWE, and all of a sudden, he ends up in this feud with Ricochet, which I was fine with. Um, he ends up beating Ricochet on that Dynamite you and I went to. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, Ricochet has really not been used much since. And I don't like that. And now you have Tommaso Ciampa, who I have really enjoyed this guy's work in his rookie year with AEW. And I think you're right. Jericho will be my prediction, but I'm not
Mm.
happy about it. This could also be a fun match. I mean, I think Tony Khan just decided randomly, hey, let's see if we can add some hardcore steps to this pay-per-view and see if we can get the sickos out to Montreal for him. But I do think Jericho's winning, given Ciampa beat him on Beach Break. I just
Yeah.
really hope, I really hope this is the end of this feud, unless it's being built to All In for then Ciampa to win there. I really, really, really want to see Tommaso Ciampa thrive in AEW a little bit more
Mm.
than what's kind of what I'm worried this will take him down.
I think this is going to take him down the same way where Bobby Lashley is, not on TV.
Right. And I don't want that. Like, this dude's had unbelievable matches this year.
Mm.
Like, I just, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, you have to get out of this pay per view to see where you're going to All In at Wembley. Like,
Mm.
we know where some of the key stories are, but it's going to be a 4 or 5 hour pay per view. There's going to be a dozen matches, including the buy in at All In Wembley. So, like, there's still some of those B and C level stories to see where Champa could slide into.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he needs a title. I appreciate that he's being part of a feud that has been featured on TV quite a bit.
Mm.
I would just, I'd like to see him. Like, I don't think he's been used bad, including in this feud. I do not think he's been
Yeah.
used
He
poorly
has
in
some good
AEW.
matches with Mark Briscoe, which is also another name that hasn't been on TV for a while.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'll go with Jericho as well. I just
Mm.
hope that both of them are going to be in a better place coming out of this.
Well, speaking of a better place, I'm curious about the chemistry between these two, Moxley and Will. Will they be in a better place when they face the Young Bucks?
So I think this is actually one of the harder matches to predict on this card, because you have the Young Bucks, who I feel are going to be involved in the World Tag Team title match at All In.
Mm.
And whether that is a three-way tag match, or whether, because I originally thought this was going to be them versus Cope and Cage at Redemption. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact they held that off leads me to believe there's a chance it could just be straight up them versus Cope and Cage at All In. And that would be a
Mm.
first time ever, and it would be a huge deal. So I think the Young Bucks are still a very important part of AEW's current storyline. And I think Osprey and Moxley, like, you got to remember, Osprey and Mox is a singles champion. Osprey is going for the singles championship on the men's
Mm.
side. Like, could a loss to them further help drive the story of, all right, where is Moxley involved in this Osprey Omega thing?
Mm.
Um, or does an Osprey and Mox win, depending on how it's done against the Young Bucks,
Mm.
really kind of twist the knife on Kenny Omega, because those are his best friends. Those are the guys that helped him find AEW. And Will, what are you doing? Right? We brought you in here.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So I I don't know. This is actually a tough one for me to predict. The only thing, and I may regret this prediction, but I'm gonna say, because he is main eventing at Wembley, I'm going to say Osprey and Moxley are going to win. And I
Mm.
think the way in which they will win, or whatever will be done here, will have some level of relevance to Kenny Omega. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kenny Omega prior to his main event title match, like coming out to save the day, or something here. But I
Yeah.
really think the Young Bucks could win too. I'm going to go Osprey Mox.
I think that's a safe bet. Go Osprey and Mox because they also have they help potentially the Death Riders. You have these guys are dog. They're deadly. They're not playing. They're not here to do flips and cool moves and Meltzer drivers. The Young Bucks, they kind of need a little fire lit up under their ass to go into all in and make sure they can make it to the pay per view, at least on the card. Standalone, not even for the championships. They need something to say, okay, we need to try to fight to make it on the card. I think that would be the best thing to do there, which is a weird prediction to predict the Young Bucks losing in any tag team matches on pay per view.
Yeah, that's where we're at, though.
I feel like if Mox and Will loses, Mox would be the one eating the pin if they lose, but I don't think they're
Yes.
going to lose.
Yeah, if they did, I almost wonder if you would see a turn right there and then.
But how you know? How you know?
Okay. Okay. So I think this is more interesting than some people are giving credit for.
Definitely. Look at that
So,
big Mark Davis.
okay, so yeah, Mark
Mm,
Davis defending the AEW National Championship against Andrade El Idolo. So, I think it would be very easy to sit here and say Andrade wins the championship. And I
yeah.
don't think that's a bad prediction. I don't. However, if you watch over the last couple weeks, have you noticed Andrade with this dynamite diamond ring?
Mm,
He's had that, right? And we've seen who has not been on TV for the last couple of weeks. Now, I don't know. I would hate to see MJF return and like have zero addressing towards Kenny and like
mm,
getting the world title back. I would hate that. Kind of like Darby Allin, to be honest. Like Darby has not addressed losing the title to MJF. He's
mm,
just pissed at Kevin Knight, who like had actually nothing to do with the fact that Darby lost the belt. Like he's attacked him post match. So, anywho, as much as I want to say Andrade wins,
mm.
I'm gonna say MJF is going to come out and cost Andrade here. And I think Mark Davis is going to retain the title. And that to me is probably my boldest prediction I'll make on this show, but I could see MJF and Andrade perhaps being the angle we will go to all in with.
Mm. That's a bold prediction. I'm gonna go a little bold prediction here. I'm gonna say Idolo is gonna win with the help of Selena Vega being signed to AEW All Elite. She just got officially cleared from the 90-day whatever. She filed her trademark on online. I look at Twitter every now and then. Rumors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that one. I feel like it's an national champion. I think the championship's not that important. I feel like you can do MJF versus El Idolo for this championship at Grand Slam, whatever, Mexico.
Perhaps you're right. And I do think Andrade could win as well. Like this is a 50-50
Mm,
for me, but I could see Mark Davis just because, maybe they save that title for I've been saying this for a long time. Maybe get Brody King and Mark Davis at all in and get Brody his AEW championship.
ooh, that'd be cool. Two big meat man going.
Yeah. Tony
I
loves the
wouldn't be
meat.
against it. Let's lower the meat intake here because we're on a good diet here. We just came back from a long injury, and now we have the TBS championship.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cheetah versus Maya World. So this is one where I'm happy to see Maya World again booked on a pay-per-view.
Yep.
I think they've done a good job post Owen Hart tournament of keeping her relevant.
Mm,
Um, but Cheetah just won that title, and I still think Maya World is the end destination will be ending Athena's reign, which is now past Roman Reigns, by the way. Uh,
throw your ones
but
up.
yeah, put your ones up for the row dog, not road dog. Sorry.
Ah,
Uh, but yeah, I think Cheetah wins. I don't love it. I don't love the idea of my world just like losing and losing and then finally getting the like, oh, I'm good enough for ROH. I'm just not good enough for AEW titles yet. But
mm.
I just don't think this is where Cheetah's losing the belt.
I feel like I'm gonna go with my world, because like I gotta feel like Sheeta's cool. She has a good reign, good job being a heel. I don't think it's like a long term title reign, and I don't think Harley Cameron's gonna take that off for any time soon. You're not doing a good job booking her.
I I think Cheetah. I agree with you. I don't think she's meant for a long reign, but I don't know if they maybe go back to Statlander again and they
Hmm.
circle that drain for maybe All In at Wembley.
Yeah,
Another
that would
you
be the only thing
mentioned
that would make
Selena.
sense. I think.
Well, you mentioned Selena Vega. Imagine
Hmm.
if, because I'm pretty sure Kyrie Sane's 90 day is done too.
Hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Okay. I mean, they have a lot of good possibilities with these free agents. Like I said earlier, you don't really know what AEW is going to do and who they're going to sign and who they're not going to sign.
Yeah, this feels like one of the more wild times in the free agency, at least in the last couple of years with AEW, where there's just so many right off the hop that you could see here. I feel like 2025 was a little quiet, so
Hmm.
I think this will be interesting.
I think with the possibility of like the New Day, this is their minus CM Punk. This is going to be the biggest opportunity they're going to have to sign people to AEW, minus CM Punk.
I would say I wouldn't fully agree. I feel like it was CM Punk, and I feel like the next big wave was
Hmm.
2024 because they signed in a very short period of time. Osprey, Okada, and Mercedes was, I mean,
Hmm.
that was huge, But I agree. This is still a very noteworthy time for some free agents to be scooped.
Speaking of getting scoped, got the one, the only international champion.
Oh yeah,
He has his scoped on Bandito, the most wanted.
I have Kyle Fletcher winning, and uh I think just so predictably. Bandito on a tag match this past week on Dynamite. It was Brodito beating Proto Kata and
Yeah.
Bandito hitting the 21 plex to pin Kyle Fletcher clean in the ring. They just never do that and then have like that repeat. This could be a
Especially with the
match of the night.
Rainmaker there too, kind of protecting and Kyle Fletcher getting hit with that by Okada in that match.
True. Yes. Yes. I would agree with that. Yeah, because he got hit with like back-to-back finishers, the
Hmm.
Rainmaker and then the 21 plex. But I think this has match of the night potential. Uh, I don't like seeing Bandito consistently lose on an AEW pay-per-view, which is happening
Hmm.
now, like every single pay-per-view. Um, but that being said, man, this could be match of the night. The more and more I watch Kyle Fletcher, like the more I'm like, dude, I really think this guy should be the AEW World Champion at some point next year. Like you and I know this,
Hmm.
people that watch don't necessarily, but like you and I normally watch Dynamite together. We watch all of the AEW stuff together. This week we didn't. And I'm watching this Fletcher match, I think because I was watching kind of like quietly by myself for a
Hmm.
change. I'm kind of like paying attention to more nuances. And I'm like, dude, this guy is so good on the ring, in the ring, including like his selling. Even his selling is so good at making everybody else look great around him. I liked him on the mic after when he had kind of a heated exchange with Kevin Knight.
Oh yeah, that was
uh
cool.
he's so good, man. This will be a great match, and I have Fletcher retaining.
I want to go Bandito, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Fletcher because the storyline options with him having the championship and Don Callis family could potentially. I feel like they're slowly cooking up. It's getting that right point where it hits the climax of Kyle Fletcher Okada all in, or
Yep.
even a triple threat with Takeshita
Uh,
if they want to do that.
I think that I think that's where we're going. I think it's Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita. We've talked about this recently. Like we talked about a lot of these triple threat matches. They
Hmm.
can't all happen. Like they're not going to do 4 or 5 triple threats at All In Wembley. But if there's one, if you had to do only one, I think this would be the one. It'd be Fletcher, Takeshita, Okada.
Hmm.
Kind of almost the beginning of the end, the collapse of the Don Callis family, maybe even. I think that'd be an interesting story to continue trying to tell over the series of a few months. But yeah, the story's just there. So I've got Fletcher.
I agree. I feel like another story that has more gas in the car now, a little bit more gas in the tank. Seeing what we saw on Dynamite with the Death Riders attacking Cope and Christian. If I can use my little glasses here, I can select a photo.
Yes.
Had a
So
good promo with Pac saying, "You challenged us, you pretty much fucked up. Pretty much made a bad decision challenging us."
Yeah, because we don't want to go for tag titles.
Yeah,
We
we don't
don't
like
want to
making
win
more money.
anything. We don't want that. It'll be a fun match. I really wish Pac and Claudio, I don't know. I'd like to see more for each of those guys, honestly, as
Mm,
singles. Um, I don't think they're winning here, right? There's no way they're taking the belts off Cope and Cage to go into this. Like everybody knows the New Day are coming.
yeah,
Everybody knows they haven't had their match with the Young Bucks yet. Like there's just still so much in there that Cope and Cage will retain. But hopefully it'll be a good match.
yeah, I agree. I don't think you have the Holden Town heroes of Cope and Cage lose here. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Get ready to start a new chat. Get ready to join. Go on a
Uh,
break real quick.
we'll be back
Let's go to
in 10 minutes.
what? Not
And we're back. We're back.
that wasn't even 10 minutes. That was
I
nice.
was joking. Luckily,
Perfect.
I had
Perfect.
my Zoom crash there for a second, so I was like, "Oh shit, it might be 10 minutes.
Man, well,
What
we
might
got
be
through
10 minutes?"
that. What are we down to? Two matches?
Willow Nightingale versus Takeshita. This match will be longer than 10 minutes. That's my prediction.
This is okay. So I said Young Bucks versus Mox and Osprey is one of the more unpredictable matches.
Mm,
This is like for the criticisms, I think most people agree with this. For the criticisms that Redemption is getting, um, this is a very strong, well-built match that
yeah.
is actually like you really do have to ask here what is the direction that this company is going, because I think a lot of people are anticipating that Willow is winning the championship, and
Mm,
yet like similar to MJF, you will have a champion who's carried a division for a few months have the rug pulled out from them at the 11th hour going into the biggest show of the year. And it happened with Max, and
mm,
I hate to say it, I think it's going to happen with Tekla. I mentioned Kyrie Sane earlier. Here's an idea to make it make sense,
mm,
because I think with MJF, he's got such a great character complex that he does not need a championship to be relevant on a card. I like him with the world title, but he
mm,
can he can maneuver around, and I don't know that Tekla has as much versatility. So with her, I could see Willow winning this. I could see us getting Willow and Mercedes, but perhaps this is where Kyrie Sane could come out. And Kyrie could elect to represent Stardom, because I'm pretty sure she's wrestled for that promotion years ago.
mm,
So if you had Kyrie Sane on behalf of Stardom try to take down the Toxic Spider and get Stardom its like prestige back, that creates kind of a big match for All In, and it allows Tekla to be very relevant in a very prominent place on the All In card. In my opinion, if you were
mm.
to tell people, hey, you're going to get Kyrie Sane's first AEW pay per view
Yeah.
match, um, and I think it allows that natural move over for then Willow to win this title, and Willow versus Mercedes. So I will say Willow is going to dethrone Tekla and become the new AEW Women's World Champion.
I agree. Yeah, I think Willow's gonna win. I feel like Tekla having the Stardom the women's championship or a women's championship in Stardom really helps. It's not killing Tekla. Tekla literally has two championship right now. She's kind of on fire. I think it's good to get your fire extinguisher here and a big returning Willow Nightingale. from.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is another one too, where if Tekla won, look, I'm down for Tekla and Mercedes. I'd be very
Oh yeah, it's
excited to
gonna be
see
good.
what those two could do together in the ring. It's kind of a shame that I don't think we're going to get that, but AEW has told the story of Willow and Mercedes before. It was actually Mercedes's first her first pay-per-view match was against Willow,
Mm.
and she won that TBS title back in 2024. So I think they're going to do it. But yeah, I don't know. It could go either way, but yeah, I'll lean toward Willow.
I think I'm gonna lean also towards Willow, and also I'm gonna lean closer, a little bit closer to our main event.
Here we go. We have 10 matches on the main card of this pay-per-view.
Gotta love AEW. You went from there's nothing to announce it. They got to start announcing stuff to there's 30
Yeah.
matches.
We had one match announced going into last week, and in the span of 7 days, 9 matches have been added to this card.
Thing is, Tony Khan, he knows how to book matches.
Oh yeah, he does.
Definitely.
Yeah, he does. Collision's his favorite. Uh
Wow.
Kevin Knight's not losing. Or wait, no, Kenny Omega's not losing. No.
Oh, there you go. Are you sure Kenny's not winning?
Kenny Omega is winning. However, I think like this is another one, and I was not happy about it too. Um, I think so. I'll say this. When you look up and down this card, and we've talked about some of the build, we've talked like, dude, as of right now, and I'm gonna be honest, man, I don't want another match added to the main card. 10 is enough. Okay. Stop it.
10. 10.
He's coming back. But as of right now, this is a card that does not have MJF, Hangman, Swerve, Darby, the conglomeration, the demand, the Hurt Syndicate. There are big time players not on this match card. And when you look at some of the guys that have been put on, I think Kevin Knight should come in with a bigger chip on his shoulder than anybody because
Mm,
all the talk on social media is that this is not a pay-per-view main event. Kevin Knight is not ready. They shouldn't have done this. There's all these other matches. Fuck, I didn't even mention Takeshita and Okada aren't on this card either.
true.
Mercedes isn't on this card. Like, it speaks to the depth of the AEW roster, but it speaks to the opinions of the fan base. And Kevin Knight, and I think Kenny Omega will certainly do his part. I hope that we end this pay-per-view saying that was the best match of the night and Kevin Knight just got put on the map. And
Yeah.
I think we have seen career defining moments for several individuals in this company who you can look back on a match and go, wow, right? Because I hope in 6 months, I hope, still be
Mm,
talking about how Maya World getting into that Owen Hart tournament is what put her on the map. And I hope that
definitely.
she's a fixture of the women's division. And I think Kyle Fletcher's feud with Will Ospreay that started like a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever, I hope that is what puts like you look back and I look back and
Yeah,
I
when
go,
he
that
shaved his
put,
head, that really made him
yep,
stand out.
right? Changed him. Totally changed him. And you can't like look back at that dude and I'm like, who was that guy?
You
Now I think
literally
he's,
look at his action figure and go, oh, that looks like Will Ospreay. The action
yeah,
figure of him.
yep. So it's like, you look at that and it's like, to me, and I stand by this, Kyle Fletcher should be AEW world champion at some point before the end of
Yeah.
2027. And this is that opportunity for Kevin Knight. So I don't think anybody should predict Kevin Knight to beat Kenny Omega. I think the story is there. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay has been moving tickets for All In at Wembley. Kenny Omega's in his home country of Canada. He should retain the championship. And I hope that Kevin Knight comes out of this match proving a lot of doubters wrong. And I really hope this elevates him.
Well, I had to look at my friend here, the calculator. I'm kidding, the calendar. And
Oh, yeah.
look right here, and it says August 30th, All In, London. I don't. I'm looking here, and I don't think they're gonna have enough time to give Kevin Knight a short title reign. I don't. I want Kevin Knight to have a little title reign. They did it for Darby, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Kenny's gonna be the one winning, but the one standing tall, I think will be Kevin Knight standing tall, but not with the championship.
Oh, the TNT Championship.
Or not our redemption.
Yeah, but he'll have it.
Oh, true.
You
Yeah.
know, he'll have it. It's an opportunity for him, and I mean, you know, again, it was frustrating. Like when I saw it, and I stand by my opinion too. I think
Mm-hmm.
there were at least 3, if not 5, bigger money matches that you could have had headline this pay per view with Kenny Omega. But Kevin Knight is like what 30, if that.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Kevin Knight's he's worthy of having this opportunity. You got to
and
give
he's
your young
younger.
guys the chance of their opportunity to. He's not gonna win, but at least give him like that young Kyle Fletcher or at least Darby. Darby had multiple title matches that he didn't
Yeah,
win until he won it. So this could
yeah.
be one of those matches that is like, okay, I can see it in the future.
And people talk about the need to build stars. Like when you look at, you know, just in my opinion, I mean, who did Moxley beat? Okay, so he beat Danielson, but like Danielson, if you go over the last 2 years, all right, what Swerve was in his I don't know. Now I kind of want to look up how old Swerve Strickland is
Yeah,
because I
the
do
thing
think.
is, with Swerve, he's been wrestling. Like he was in NXT for a little cup of coffee. He was around.
So when Swerve won the AEW title, he was
Mm,
33. All right.
okay,
Uh, you've had MJF hold it 3 times before what, 30?
yeah.
Uh, you've had Hangman win it at last year. He was 33 years old. Darby Allin, I think, is 31, 32.
Mm,
Kevin Knight's right around that age group. This idea of like needing to build stars, right, is something, and people talk about it in WWE because look at the champions and the guys that have been winning and going for the titles. And
mm,
it's like they're all in their 40s. And it's like right now, AEW, like this is an opportunity. Um, and I think it's a bold play from them. I will say
mm.
that. Um, but you know, man, they clearly believe in Kevin Knight. It's not even like it's just this pay per view. I mean, I think for
Oh
months now
no,
they've shown.
they've been giving him the microphone. He's been having the chance to talk and walk the walk. He's been having good matches, good promos. He's been able to not be a background member of the Don Callis family, which is kind of was very concerning for me going with him
Yeah,
leaving Speedball. It's like, is he just going to be uh, just a background character in the Don Callis family? But he's been like
yeah.
one of the main features.
So to end the predictions, I believe the
Mm,
only you and I went in 2 different directions. So I'll be curious to see if we end with an even score because we differed on the national championship match,
mm.
and we differed on. Oh, there was one other we differed on. Oh, we differed on the double chain match.
Oh yeah, the double chain match. Yeah, we also yeah. We also it.
Yeah, I think so.
Did we agree on the Painmaker? Did you say we both agree on Jericho, right?
I have Jericho winning.
Yeah,
We both had
yeah,
that.
okay. And then
So.
the TBS Championship, I think
Oh, we
that's
differed on
different.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 3. All right, so we've got some difference on this one.
So stay tuned, and maybe there'll be some more buy-in matches that we can probably between us both. We can agree or disagree.
Yeah. Do you think Drilla Maloney is coming back?
I don't know. I hope we see a Canadian boom, boom,
Oh,
boom. Hope we see those guys.
yeah, maybe so.
Double chocolate chuck Canadian cookie.
Nah, man, they're saving them for Wembley, bro.
Ah, true. Well, you know what I'm saving? An appetite. So hopefully I can eat.
Yeet.
Any final words for this AEW predictions?
This pay-per-view is going to go 5 fucking hours, and I really had hope that it would, because it's starting at 7, the main card. I know, and you said it, and I was
I
like,
told
ah,
you.
maybe not. But like, because in my head, dude, imagine if it goes 4 hours, it ends at 11. You and I can do a video right
Mm,
after. We can be in bed at a decent time, and that's probably not going to
in
happen.
the same bed. Imagine.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's
Wrong
losing it.
multiverse. Wrong multiverse.
God, man. God
Too
damn,
bad.
man. God damn.
Too bad
Hey, if you
AEW
want,
has to do these long shows.
I know you live in Florida. If you want to drive
Mm.
to Detroit, Michigan, I can't imagine it's that long of a hike. You could, I could probably get you
I
free
think I'll
tickets
start.
for Dynamite.
I'll start the walk right now.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be there to talk about this
Yeah.
pay-per-view and review.
Like, comment, subscribe, and drop a notification on this playlist so you can see anytime we drop a little podcast thing.